preschool friends and preschool families. This is Miss Holkai. I'm coming to you from Mrs. G's speech room. I'm going to video some lessons in here. So as you know, on Tuesday, all the teachers in the district are getting their second COVID vaccine. So we don't have school Tuesday. And Wednesday, they're making an asynchronous learning day, which means you do learning on your own because there's a lot of side effects with the second shot, like being tired and having a fever. And so I'm going to video a bunch of lessons for you guys to do on Wednesday. So we'll have school Monday, and then we'll have school Thursday, and then Stormer's kids will have school on Friday. So today I'm going to talk about a math concept called fractions. Fractions. And fractions, that's just a fancy way of saying parts of a whole. If you have a whole thing, like say this is a cookie, that's a whole cookie. But say your mom said, oh, that's the last cookie. You have to share it with your brother. Now, if you just give him a little tiny piece, he's going to be angry. You have to make sure you divide it equally, right? So you would cut it down the middle. And then what would you have? 2 equal pieces. What's that called? Halves. Look. See how they're the same? Cut it down the middle. Piece for you, piece for your brother. Half for you, half for him. These are halves. Halves. And you could see here that this is how to write a fraction. 1 out of 2 pieces. So this is the number of pieces, and then this is the number of pieces you have. So I have 1 out of 2 pieces. That's how to write 1/2. But say your cousins come over, and mom's like, you still have to share that cookie. 2 of your cousins come over. So you have to divide it in half again. How many pieces would you have then if you divided the halves in half? You would have fourths. Fourths. So look here. You could see the whole, okay? But if you divide it in half, it's like this. And if you divide it in half again, it's 4 pieces. Fourths. You put a little at the end of it. Fourths. 1 out of 4 pieces. That's how to write fourth. What if you would divide these in half? What would it be then? 8 pieces. So what would you call it then? We had halves, we had fourths. Now we're going to have eighths. Eighths. So there will be 8 equal pieces. Okay. Check this out. 8 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you could still see if I took it down a little bit, you could still see how this is the half. And if I scoot it to the side, you could see the fourths. Isn't that cool? So same thing with the pizza. Check out these pizzas. When you order pizza from Papa John's or Little Caesars, they usually take the pizza cutter and cut it up. So here's the whole pizza. If I do it right down the middle, what is it? Halves. Halves. 1 out of 2 pieces. Halves. What if I would cut the halves in half? What would they be then? Fourths. Fourths. See? 1 out of 4 pieces. So I'm going to read you a little story called Apple Fractions. Apple Fractions. Apples taste so good. Yes. You might want to share an apple. You can cut it into parts. What is a part of something called? The part is called a fraction. A fraction is a kind of number. It names a part. This girl is eating a fraction of the apple. This This apple is cut in 2 parts. Each part is the same size. The fraction for each part is 1/2. It's a half, look. Half here, half here. This apple is cut in 3 parts. Each part is the same size. The fraction for each part is 1/3. 1 out of 3 pieces, right? See a little fraction? Here's 1/3, here's 1/3, here's 1/3. This apple is cut in 4 parts. The fraction for each part is 1/4. 1 out of 4 pieces. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. What happened to the apples? They took all the skins off. What's that called? Peeling the apples. They peeled them. Someone used the apples to make apple muffins. Oh, yes. Delish. There are 4 muffins on the plate. Don't eat them all at once. Let's count the muffins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take 1 muffin from the plate. You have 1 of the 4 muffins. What fraction do you have? The fraction for 1 muffin is 1/4. You have 1 out of 4 pieces. 1/4. Give a muffin to a friend. Together you have 2 of the 4 muffins. What fraction is that? 2/4. 2 out of the 4 pieces. Take 1 more muffin for a friend. The fraction is 3/4. 1, 2, 3. That leaves 1/4 of the muffins on the plate. Or does it? Who ate the last one? The doggy did. The end. So I actually have an apple. You might have seen this in the housekeeping area. Look, here's the whole apple. I'm going to divide it into fractions. And you're going to tell me how many pieces it is and what the fraction would be. So, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I divided it into 5 pieces. So this would be 1/5. 1/5 of the apple. 1 out of 5 pieces, 1/5. Let's do it again with an orange. I have an orange here. Here's the whole orange. Let's divide it into parts. You tell me the fraction. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this? It's 1/4. 1 out of 4 pieces. And remember, friends, all of these fractions are equal. Fractions have to be equal. They have to be the same. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you a food, and you have to tell me if I'm dividing it equally. Okay, so here's a chocolate chip cookie. It's a paper chocolate chip cookie, but I'm going to divide it. I want you to tell me if I divided it evenly. Okay. What did I divide it into? Halves, 4ths, 8ths, halves. I divided it in half. And look, are they the same? Let's match them up and see. They're the same. So that's equal. This is an equal fraction. That's good. All right. Now next is a donut. So I say, oh yeah, there's only 1 donut left. This piece is for me. This piece is for you. How would you feel? You'd be like, wait a minute, Miss Holkai, that's not fair. You get a giant piece, I get a little wimpy piece. Yeah, that is definitely not an equal fraction. That's not equal. What about this popsicle? You ever get some of these popsicles? They're called twin pops. Get these in the summertime. So check it out. Did I divide it evenly? Yep, 2 pieces, halves, right? So next I'm going to show you some pictures. And if I want you to tell me if it's equal or unequal. If it's equal, both sides will be the same. You know, the pieces will be the same. But if it's unequal, the pieces will not be the same. Okay? So, what about this one? We divided it, the heart right here. Would both sides be the same? Yes. That's equal. What if I divided it here? Would that be equal? No. Look at this big part up top, and you just have the triangle part at the bottom. That's not equal. What about this circle? Did I divide that up equally? I don't think so, because I got a fat line and a skinny line. Those aren't the same, those pieces aren't the same size. That's unequal. But what about this one? Kind of reminds me of our cookie or our pizza. Look, 4 pieces, they're all the same, they're equal. Those are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, so you would say fourths. Fourths. What about this square, if I divided it here? Yes, indeedy. They're all the same. They're equal. What are these? What would this be called? Fourths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But what about this one? Got a giant piece here, a skinny piece here, a little piece here. Is that equal? Is it all the same? Wah, wah. No, not the same. So, friends, that's fractions, and I sent home a new homework packet, and one of the worksheets is halves. I want you to look at the picture and divide it in half. Make a line dividing it in half, okay? Fractions, parts of a whole. All right, have a good day. Bye.